Hello and welcome again everybody to another episode of Natural Juan. And this is pretty much an unplanned video as I didn't have that much time to prepare it, and as you can probably guess, it's unscripted. Yes, I do not have a script, so don't be surprised if I make a lot of mistakes on this one. But anyway, I know that you guys, especially a couple of people here, they wanted me to make a tell a story for them. The problem is, right now, I have a few problems with work and I gotta focus on that, so I can't give you a full story right now. Anyway, maybe I am just making excuses here, but see, when you make a story, I have to write it down. Then after I finish up to my usual limit is 1,500 words. That is actually worth 9 minute long video if I have 1,500 words. So I have to write that down first, then I have to record it, and then I have to edit the thing because it'll probably have a lot of mistakes too. See, if you listen to my videos like this one, you can hear me make a lot of mistakes, so please bear with me. But I am going to tell you a story anyway. But before all that, I want to give special thanks to certain people. First of all, Mr. Jonathan Green, my first patron in Patreon. Thanks a lot because I really need that kind of help. And I'd like to thank these people who voted for a story. Their names are EJ Pelenya, the guy I keep calling Clark Kent, Hannah Clark, Trixie Bernabe, Preyus Manulat, Leonardo Eugenio III, see there, I'm making a lot of mistakes, Lara Eugenio, and Emil Vergara. As for Nicole Jocelyn, she voted for a short documentary. Don't worry though, I'm going to make a short documentary right after this video. I'm gonna finish the script on that one. I already have a script on that one, but I guess I have to start with the story. But anyway, before we go on, if you want to see more content like this, feel free to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell for notifications. So alright, what I'm going to talk about this time is dreams, specifically my dreams. Dreams can actually be defined in two ways. When you say dream, it could be someone thinking of the future. Like, my dream is to become a doctor, something like that. Then you have the dreams that you have when you sleep. Actually, the reason they're interlinked with each other, the reason why the same word is used for them, is because usually it's our dreams when we sleep that give us ideas on what we want to do. Actually, that's the thing. As a writer, or a bit of a writer myself, I can say that a lot of my works are inspired by my dreams, and a lot of people are inspired by their dreams. I'll give you 3 examples of this. There was James Cameron. He's very famous for creating the Titanic, Alien, and Terminator. And what really launched his career was Terminator, and that was inspired by him dreaming about a metal skeleton running after him. Yeah, he dreamed that the thing that you see in the Terminator, the cyborg monster, that was what was pursuing him in his nightmares, and that's what inspired him to make Terminator. Another one is the mechanical sewing machine. Their needles have holes near the tips, right? Well, the guy back then, people didn't know how to do that. But then he had a dream where he was taken in by a bunch of warriors, and they all had spears with holes at the tips of their spears. And that's what gave him the idea to make needles for sewing machines with holes in their tips or near their tips. And another thing is Twilight, Stephanie Meyer. A lot of people don't like her and her work. I will say that I'm not a fan either. But according to her, she was also inspired by her dreams. And what she had was she dreamed of a vampire and a young woman, and I guess that's what inspired the whole vampire story in Twilight. Oh, yeah, I'm not a fan, so I don't know that much about it. But anyway, I'm gonna give you guys a story or stories of dreams that I've had. So, but anyway, most of my dreams are boring or they don't make sense, but these two stories, they've stuck to me for quite a while because either they really scared me or they inspired me to work on them some more. So, okay, let's start with the first one. This one is a fairly recent dream, and I'm not gonna rule. Okay, I don't think this is a paranormal experience, okay? I don't think there was really anything supernatural about it. But there's still part of me that nags that says, maybe it's supernatural. I don't know. But okay, I won't leave you in suspense anymore. So, one of the things why I think it's supernatural was back in 2019, around its end, I think August to September, I would have these really intense nightmares. They took on different forms, but one of the things I remember before that was there was something watching me through my window, and then there was a nightmare involving a woman. She was kind of pretty actually, but she looked kind of like a Japanese woman. She was choking me in my sleep. I guess I was having sleep paralysis at that point. But anyway, we all have those, I guess. So they seemed pretty normal. I think maybe it was just my stress getting to me at the time. But what really stuck with me, or the last huge nightmare I had, was this. So, okay, here's some more background. Like I said, this is an unscripted video, so it's I can't make it organized. So back in 2019, around the end of November, my old house burned down, and 2 children died in that fire. That still haunts me to this very day. So the dream starts off like this. I'm with my family, and we're surveying the area where my house burned down. A lot of it was fixed. Actually, in the dream started out pretty good. Like we already built a number of apartments in my lot, and we were going to resume business as usual there, have it rented out to people. But my main house, the one I grew up with, it was still rubble. It was still ash and rubble. But then, in the dream, and this is when it gets bad, I see a boy going into the ruins of my old home. The little boy is, I don't know, maybe 8 to 11, somewhere around that age. And he's running and skipping as if he doesn't have a care in the world. And I didn't know the kid. I thought maybe he's one of my nephews, my aunt's kids or something like that, a younger cousin. But so I try to go after the kid. I tell him, hey, don't go in that place. It's not safe. Because it is. I mean, it's ruins. He could step on a nail. A wall could fall on him. Anything's possible when you go into these ruined places. Trust me, I've also done urban exploration a little bit during my time. So, yeah, they can get bad. But anyway, I called to him. So I shout at him to stop, to come out and not go into the ruins of my old house. And he does just that. But then he turns around and I see that he wasn't human at all. He was a demon. His flesh was burned to a crisp, and I mean burned to a crisp. Like, it was red and blackened, and he had a pair of curling horns like a ram or sheep. It curls over the back of his head. And he turned around and started walking towards me. And that's when I lose it. That's when I start shouting and screaming for help. But before he gets to me, I finally wake up in my bed. But then that's when I have the sleep paralysis. I find I can't move. And while I try to struggle, I see that the demon boy is right there beside my bed, still burnt to the crisp with his ram horns. And he is looking at me. I couldn't see his eyes because his face was horribly mangled by fire, but he was regarding me with his face like he knew what I was going through. And man, that really stuck with me. That was something else. Okay, now for something a little lighter. This was a dream I've had many years ago. I was still a kid when I had this dream. It was of an old and beautiful house that was kind of weird. It was even kind of a Harry Potterish dream. Like, it was a house with strange doors and stairways, but when you open doors, it would open up to rooms that you wouldn't expect. Some wouldn't even open up to rooms at all. You'd find yourself in another place, in another part of the world. When you looked at one window, maybe you could see the landscapes of the Alps in Europe. And then when you looked at another window, maybe you'd be looking at the Australian outback. It was crazy like that. But there was something endearing about that house. Like, it gave off this feeling of safety and belonging. Like, in that house, evil spirits and such had no place in it. And yeah, I thought of myself, I could live here forever, I said. And it was like the house was a part of heaven. And another detail I will talk about is that this house had many doors, and only people with a special key could enter this house. For example, I could be in my house right now. If I had that special key on me, I would just need to insert it into my room's keyhole. And when I would open it up, I would be in the house. You could do that anywhere. You could be in a small shack in Mexico. Or maybe you're looking at some lockers. Maybe you're in a gym in India somewhere and there are lockers there. You could use that key to open that. But as long as you use that special key, you would find yourself inside the house. And you would be safe. And the same way, you could also leave the house and go anywhere you want. Like, you could end up in another part of the world or something like that. And the best part was, sometimes you didn't even need a door. You just needed to draw the shape of a door. So you could be in the middle of an ocean. All you had to do was try to visualize a door being there. Although I think it would be easier if you were in the desert or something, because you could at least use a stick or maybe your finger to draw the shape of a door. And then you would have to draw the shape of a keyhole, and using that magic key, you could enter the house. So you see? So yeah, I think, personally, I think I'm going to include the idea of that house in an upcoming story of mine. And I hope you guys will be there to listen to that story once I get started on it. So, yeah. Anyway, that's the end of this video. If you want to hear more stories like this, feel free to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell for notifications. I guess I'll be seeing you guys later on.